We may not be able to take them all. I hope you also understand, because we need to get into the reason why we are gathered. Of course, high-level talks, discussions, networking, and all of that. And, of course, far-reaching decisions that will be taken in this room. So because of that, I'll just take a few names, a few recognitions before we begin this event proper. Just to let you know, if you have the agenda, that would be strictly going by what is on it. We're expecting high-level dignitaries, governors, ministers to be gathered here. But for now, we have foreign ministers already seated in this room. And they've been here, I'm sure, longer than some Nigerians who had to come in from their homes. So I'd like us to please put our hands together for our foreign delegates present at this conference. Please permit me to introduce our foreign ministers first before we come home to Nigerians that are present here. Nigerians, please give them a warm welcome and, of course, a very thunderous round of applause. First, I'd like to introduce His Excellency Julius Matai, the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources from the Republic of Sierra Leone. Please, a round of applause for him. We also have present and already seated His Excellency Martin Abucha, the Minister of Mining from the Republic of South Sudan. His Excellency Monica Chang Anamanu, MP, the Minister of Mining from the Republic. Also present here, we have His Excellency Wilmot Paye, the Minister of Mines and Energy, all the way from Liberia. And also we have His Excellency Omar Jime Moussel, the Deputy Minister of Petroleum, Mines and Geology from Chad. A round of applause for him. You're welcome. You're all welcome. Thank you for joining us for AFNIS 2024. As I said, I will be introducing foreign delegates here before I come home to Nigeria. We have ambassadors and heads of IGOs who are also with us and from outside Nigeria. Please, let's put our hands together as we make welcome His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Ghanem Al Hajri, the Ambassador, State of Qatar. We also have with us the Deputy Head of Mission, Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany, Jones Len. Please, a round of applause. And yes, I met with him just on Monday. We have with us the Secretary General, Africa Minerals Strategy Group. Please, a round of applause for His Excellency Moses Michael Angadu. And we have His Excellency Ambassador Saleh Abaka Chachemi, the Ambassador from the Republic of Chad. Please, a round of applause for him. All the dignitaries, of course, we would introduce as we progress with this event. I would also like to introduce here our speakers who are already seated. I will take just a few because of time. We have with us Ishak Bolariwa, Osam Iyahen, Eyo Ekpo, Onyine Anene Nzelu, Dr. Teddy Ungu, Monday Osase, Fasiyomi Kayode, Dr. Margaret Fagboyo, Sarah Ockman, Olau Rawaju Shashuri, Tengi George Okoli, Dr. Innocent Ona, Larry Shashure, Habib Jayola, Abba Abubakar Aliu, Jume Yusuf, Pius Osareme, and Yado. Please, a round of applause for our speakers and the others I have not mentioned. That applause should be better, please. We're expecting ministers from the ministries that are a part of this event to join us. And as I said, as soon as they are here, we would recognize them. Of course, it's important to mention that the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development is solidly behind this conference, and their team from that ministry are also with us. For those who are joining us for the first time, I'd like you to know that the African Natural Resources and Energy Investment Summit, AFNIS, is where the mining, power, and energy sectors converge annually with one goal: the strategic and cross-sectoral development of Africa's natural resources. This year's summit will delve into how Africa's resources can fuel economic prosperity, empower marginalized communities, and break the cycle of debt and aid dependency, thereby funding transition plans and ushering in a greener Africa. As you know, economic growth and prosperity are indispensable elements of a sustainable energy transition and tackling climate change. Please, if you're much excited to be here, a round of applause for the organizers. And also to let you know that this event would not have been a success without our partners coming on board. So I'll quickly recognize our sponsors. I'd like you to please put your hands together for them. And if their representatives are in this room, we'd like them to please signify. Of course, our gold sponsor for this year's event is none other than Segilola Resources Operating Limited. Please, a round of applause for Segilola Resources Operating Limited. We also have the Nigeria Content Development and Monitoring Board as one of our sponsors. A round of applause, please. The FG Gold, Boxmer Hills, Taraba State Government, Faithful Minerals Mining, African Minerals Strategy Group, Excalibur Multiphysics, Styron Mining, ASBA and Wisdom International, Enugu State Government, Matrix Energy Group, and of course, the major partners. We have African Leadership Magazine, Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, Premium Times, News Direct. Please, a round of applause for all of them. I'm not going to bore you with too much talk and introduction because we're about to get started with the business of the day. And before we get into that, we would have to rise. And just to let you know, we have the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Oladile Alake, just joining us in this room. Please, a round of applause for him as he takes his seat. And once he's settled, we'll have the national anthem and then kick off proceedings. The national anthem. Just a minute. All right. The national anthem would have to wait, but of course it will come in the course of this event because we're respecting the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much. Everyone, please be seated. So as soon as we have the Vice President join us, the national anthem will be taken. Thank you once again. So at this point, with the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development seated in this room, we're ready to kickstart. And to welcome us officially to this event is none other but our gold sponsor, and that is Segilola Resources. Please, a thunderous round of applause for Segun Lawson, the Chief Executive Officer, Thor Operations. A round of applause. He's our gold sponsor and the main reason why this event is happening. All right, I'm just been informed that Segun Lawson couldn't join us because of some pressing engagements. We have Chris Osa, who is representing him. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for him.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned, my name is Chris Omosage. I'm the CFO of Thor Explorations Limited. I'm representing Shegun Lawson this morning. He's unavoidably absent, and he sends his unreserved apologies. Okay. So let me try and give the speech as Shegun would. Your Excellency, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His Excellency, Peter Ndubisi Umba, Governor of Enugu State. His Excellency, Right Honorable Sheriff Francis Orowedo of Verowori, Delta State Governor. His Excellency, Dr. Agbu Kefas, Governor of Taraba State. His Excellency, Dada Lawal, Governor of Zamfara State. His Excellency, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, Governor of Nasarawa State, represented by Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, the Deputy Governor. Our Chief Host, Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Oladile Alake. Honorable Minister of Environment, Malam Balarabe Abbas Lawal. Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Toga. Honorable Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu. Honorable Minister of State for Gas, Right Honorable Ekperikpe Ekpo, Ministry of Petroleum Resources. Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Solid Minerals, Dr. Mary Ogbe. Our foreign ministers, His Excellency Junius Metai, Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Republic of Sierra Leone. His Excellency Martin Abucha, Minister of Mining, Republic of South Sudan. Her Excellency Monica Chang Anamonon, MP, Minister of Mining, Republic of Malawi. His Excellency Wilmot Pai, Minister of Mines and Energy, Liberia. His Excellency Umar Jime Musa, Deputy Minister of Petroleum, Mines and Geology, Chad. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, Director General, World Health Organization. His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Hanem Al Hajri, Ambassador, State of Qatar. His Excellency James Christoph, High Commissioner, Canada in Nigeria. Johannes Lerner, Deputy Head of Mission, Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany. His Excellency Moses Michael Ngadu, Secretary General, Africa Mineral Strategy Group. His Excellency Ambassador Saleh Abubakar Abakar Shahaimi, Ambassador of Republic of Chad. All commissioners, all captains of industry, other distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to deliver this year's keynote address. Reflecting on the past decade, it's remarkable how the landscape of natural resources and energy in Nigeria has evolved. 10 years ago, such conferences were dominated by oil and gas industry leaders, with the solid mineral sector barely making a mark. Yet today, we stand at the forefront of a new era as Nigeria's vast solid mineral potential gains well-deserved recognition. I am thrilled that Segilola Resources Operating Limited, a proudly Nigerian and our flagship project, the Segilola Gold Mine, has also been a part of this transformation. We are showcasing Nigeria, not just as a country with untapped mineral wealth, but as a thriving, viable gold mining jurisdiction, ready to compete on the global scale. Before I proceed, let me introduce myself. My name is Segun Lawson. I am a geologist, both by passion and by education. I am also the CEO of Thor Explorations Limited, a West African-focused gold producer, and its subsidiaries. Through Segilola Resources Operating Limited, our Nigerian subsidiary, we operate the wholly owned Segilola Gold Mine in Osun State, Nigeria's first legal, large-scale commercial gold mine. Before acquiring the project, I took a trip to the site to examine the mining lease area. It was a complete bushland at the time and quite a challenging hike. I repeatedly questioned whether I was mad for pursuing such a huge undertaking. It is hard to envision the level of infrastructure we have now built there. However, I couldn't shake the feeling that this project would be a transformative one for Thor Explorations Limited and for Nigeria. I was encouraged by the following. The comprehensive and compelling exploration data from previous owners of the project, and my own stubbornness, among other things, kept on prompting me to continue pursuing the actualization of this project. It's always interesting to hear us referred to as pioneers, because we didn't necessarily set out to be pioneers. We simply recognized the great opportunity and decided that even though we simply recognized a great opportunity and decided that even though a commercial gold project of this magnitude hadn't been successfully executed in Nigeria before, it was achievable. And thankfully, we were right. We commenced construction in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic and finished in 2021. In 2022, we had our first full year of commercial production. I am incredibly proud of what we have achieved operationally and technically at Segilola Gold Mine. However, what fills me with the most pride is that we accomplished all this with a workforce that is 98% Nigerian. By leveraging the expertise of the 2% expatriate resources, we ensure effective knowledge transfer to our Nigerian team, fostering the development of mining skills and capacity within the country. This commitment to local talent not only strengthens our operations, but also contributes to the broader growth and sustainability of Nigeria's mining industry. Beyond the Segilola Gold Mine, we are actively exploring an extensive package of exploration licenses with the goal of discovering additional commercial quantities of gold. Additionally, given our experience in the country, we are dedicated and committed to the exploration of commercial deposits of lithium. Given the global demand for lithium, we believe this is a strategic investment by the company. Our journey hasn't been an easy one, and we continue to firefight issues every day. However, we adopted a solutions-oriented approach early on and have helped in tackling difficult situations. For example, mining competencies weren't readily available in the country, so we made significant investments in training and technology transfer. Also, there was mistrust of mining by the communities, who had primarily only experienced illegal mining. We had to engage with a wide spectrum of stakeholders, including government officials, local communities, industry partners, and this was crucial in building trust and fostering collaboration. We also had to navigate the regulatory landscape as the first company to implement certain provisions of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007 and its subsequent regulations 2011. This required a deep understanding of mining nuances, global best practices, and a proactive approach to compliance. Despite these hurdles, our commitment to excellence and sustainable practices has laid a solid foundation for the growth and development of Nigeria's mining sector. Core Explorations Limited has adopted a long-term view in Nigeria, and we believe this will pave the way for others to follow. There are several compelling reasons for this. Nigeria boasts over 44 different solid minerals, offering a diverse array of opportunities. The country has a strong workforce with skills transferable from well-established industries such as oil and gas and manufacturing. The federal government is prioritizing economic diversification and actively developing the solid minerals sector. Nigeria's robust regulatory framework ensures a stable and conducive environment for mining operations. These factors combine to make Nigeria a highly attractive destination for investment in the solid minerals industry. However, there are still abundant opportunities for all stakeholders to further support and cultivate an even more enabling environment for sustainable growth in the solid minerals industry. One of the crucial opportunities we must address is the issue of illegal mining, which has proliferated across the country in recent years. It's estimated that Nigeria is losing about $12 billion annually to illegal mining. This surge has led to environmental degradation, loss of government revenue, child labor, and other serious issues. The federal government has introduced numerous policies and initiatives to combat this challenge. Making relevant geotechnical data readily available is another opportunity that we must all critically assess and actualize. This data is crucial for ensuring investor confidence and attracting more foreign direct investment into Nigeria's solid minerals industry. It gladdens my heart to note that the Ministry of Solid Minerals has made this a priority, recognizing its significance in enhancing the investment climate. This proactive approach is instrumental in creating a more enabling environment for mining activities, promoting transparency, and fostering synergies within the extractives industry. Collectively, we should keep supporting this as a this effort of the ministry the best way we can in the interest of the overall goal of positioning Nigeria as a global investment hub in mining operations. Ladies and gentlemen, tackling insecurity in our dear country will provide a significant opportunity for improved investment from existing and prospective players in the mining industry. Insecurity has hampered progress and deterred investment across critical sectors of our country. Armed banditry, kidnapping, and conflicts over mining rights has exacerbated the situation. However, we must salute the efforts of the federal government in combating this menace, particularly in the mining regions. The sense of urgency shown by the federal government in this regard must be applauded. These include the deployment of the mining marshals, establishing a mines surveillance task force, and improving the legal framework to deter illegal activities. Additionally, partnerships with local communities are being strengthened to foster cooperation and ensure that mining operations benefit the host communities. As stakeholders, we should continue to play a crucial role in supporting the federal government's efforts to end insecurity in the mining sector. At Segilola, we have invested in community development projects to create job opportunities for residents within our areas of operation, and by extension, people across the state. We also engage in transparent communication with people at the local level to build trust and mitigate conflicts. Civil society organizations who are critical stakeholders in the sector can also assist by advocating for responsible mining practices, and by working together, we can realize the goal of a thriving and secure solid minerals industry in Nigeria, contributing to the nation's economic growth and development. In conclusion, the Segilola gold mine exemplifies the transformative potential of Nigeria's solid minerals sector. The transformation of our site from a challenging bushland to a fully operational gold mine underscores the importance of resilience, collaboration, innovation, and importantly, support from all stakeholders, including the federal government of Nigeria, through the ministry, and the state governments where we operate. With a strong commitment to sustainable practices, community development, and regulatory compliance, Segilola Resources Operating Limited aims to drive economic growth to the wider Nigerian economy and also to set a strong example in the industry. As we continue to explore and expand our operations, including our strategic investments in lithium, we remain dedicated to fostering a secure and prosperous mining environment. We hope that by continuing to work together with the government, communities, and other stakeholders, we can unlock the immense potential of Nigeria's solid minerals industry, ensuring long-term benefits for all and contributing to the nation's overall economic stability and development. I thank you all for listening. And again, please have a fruitful deliberation throughout these sessions. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Please another round of applause for Segilola Resources. That was Chris Omo-Osaige, representing the Chief Executive Officer of Tor Explorations Limited, Segun Lawson. Just so you know, Segilola has been a partner with AFNIS, and this is the third time. And this time, they decided to make it big by being gold sponsors. Thank you very much, Segilola, for your opening remarks. Just so you know, it's been confirmed that we have representatives of some governors right here in this room, and in the course of the event, they will speak with us. And just for recognition, we have the representative of the governors of Abia State in this room. Please, a round of applause. Ebonyi State, Enugu, Nasarawa, and Akwa Ibom. As I already mentioned, we'll get to meet the representatives, and they will speak with us in the course of this event. Thank you so much for joining us. At this point, it's time to listen to the chief host of this event. He is a writer, an author, and for so many who do not know, he's a seasoned media professional. He's none other than the one and only Dr. Henry Oladele Alake. the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development. Please, a round of applause for him as he delivers the welcome address. All right, I'm being told that he has to attend to something. All right, while we wait for him to come to give us the welcome address as our chief host, I'd like to quickly call on the representative of the Enugu State Governor. His Excellency Peter Umba is being represented here by the Special Advisor on Solid Minerals and Mining. Please, a round of applause for Engineer Samuel Onyeye Okoro as he comes forward to give his goodwill message. Please keep clapping. I'm sure he will put springs on his steps as he comes forward. I would like the ushers to guide them to the stage just so they can get here on time. I would like the representative of the Akwa Ibom State Governor. We have with us Right Honorable Chief Uno Etim Uno, the Commissioner for Environment and Mineral Resources, representing the Governor here. He would speak with us shortly. Please make welcome Enugu State Government.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Your Excellencies. Let me stand on existing protocols. I bring you goodwill for the people and government of Enugu State. On behalf of my principal, His Excellency Dr. Peter Simba, who wasn't able to be here because of some circumstances, official duties, say thank you and welcome to AFNIS 2024. It's all about mineral development, how to make Africa great, how to make Nigeria great, to develop our solid mineral and mining sector. In Enugu, we've done a lot, and we're still doing a lot to ensure that we develop that sector. The president has always talked about growing our GDP from where it is now currently to $1 trillion at the end of 8 years. And in Enugu, my governor has a lofty ambition of growing our GDP from $4.4 billion, where it is currently, to $30 billion before the end of 8 years. And with all these lovely ideas and plans has focused, most of them, on solid mineral. So what do we do to ensure that this plan is achieved? That's the question. In Enugu, we have anchored on productivity. Like I said yesterday in the ministerial retreat, we need to be productive. Productivity in the essence that if you have a license or a title, you need to be able to go to site and work and then develop, be patriotic. We need to rededicate ourselves to the service of our country, selflessly. Be honest, just like the Honorable Minister said yesterday. Be honest as an operator. Be fair to the government, so that if you cry, they will know where to help. So that's it. Revenue generation. During an inaugural meeting of Mirenko in Enugu last 2 weeks, we talked about the acronym BRES. That's a 4-point agenda of which we want to develop the sector in Enugu. Productivity, revenue generation, environmental management, and safety. From experience, I've been an operator, a mine operator for 10 years, 11 years actually. We have seen the challenges inherent in the sector. How do we ensure that we stop paying lip service and actually start taking actions in data generation, productivity, making sure that if we produce, we can be able to remit the actual royalties that's inherent to the federal government, or the governments, of both in tax to the state and the federal government. How do we ensure that we manage our environment in a safe way so that this productivity will not turn to be a curse to our environment in the near future? How do we manage safety in the mining area to ensure that this productivity, when we start, will not have safety incidents happening all over the place as a result of unregulated or unmanaged mining activities? I've heard about illegal mining. I will tell you what we did in Enugu, because I always talk about lack of political will or corruption being the actual danger that we see in this mining sector. In Enugu, before this current government came on board, we have approximately 46 or 50 illegal mining operations going on in Enugu. But I can tell you today, that if anybody here is going to point out any illegal mining site happening in Enugu today, I'll pay you, I'll give you 1 million naira. There is none. We close them down. What are the oxygen following illegal mining? The one we can control. Community leaders, equipment operators, truck owners. Those are the people. If the illegal miner goes to has a material now and there's no truck to load it from the point A to point B, will he mine again? If there's no equipment, if there's no community leader to aid him or collude with him, he won't be there. So we took actions on these three factors that we know that once we can control these ones, we can control the market where they're selling it, we can control this one that we have on our land. And when we took these steps, they all closed down. Because you can't invite serious investors to come and spend money and do exploration and do mining, and they'll still be dragging the same market with people who don't do any expenditures. It's not going to make any profit. It can't be able to operate. We actually need to walk the talk selflessly, be serious. If you want to stop it, you stop it. It's not a challenge. So that's what we are doing in Enugu currently to be able to develop this sector. And I will urge all our people here, presidents of states, governments, to please, let's rededicate ourselves to the service of our fatherland. We only have one life to live, and it will be a shame if after they're exploiting these minerals, we're bequeathing an environment that's not sustainable to our children. Mine is about community and environment. One of them cannot go before the other because all of us here come from communities. So if you're looking at the revenue, we're looking at the economic the environmental management to sustain the environment, to make it livable for the next generation. Because if the people before us did not do that, we won't have any community to live in now, or land to mine on. So I urge you, but please, it's a matter of urgency. Let's see how we can be able, like the federal government recently increased the rates of royalties and the rest. People were crying. And for me, I think it's a welcome development. It's going to at least prune down the speculators in the industry, because if you're not working, you can't be able to pay that kind of amount they have actually asked for now. You have to be working really to be able to pay the money. That's a good one. And if anybody comes complaining to the Honorable Minister, my advice is, if anybody comes complaining to you, show us your site. If it's working, and we show you it's working, and you're struggling, then he can be able to use his discretion and say how to give you a waiver. But if you're not working, you're your own. Let's at least have half of the people who have titles, let them be working in their sites. Half of the title owners should be able to work in the areas you're given title to work on, not dump your title somewhere and expect people to come and buy it at inflated rates. That's not helping us. Because that's not helping anybody. And revenue generation, we should also look at people who are operating. Because if we are producing and the revenue is not coming as it's supposed to, it's akin to saving a leaking purse. Underpayment of royalties and non-payment of royalties or taxes, it's not supposed to be a thing that we're discussing. What's actually happening? And people who are supposed to checkmate and ensure that this is not happening, don't do that. If you're pushing production, we're chasing revenue generation as well. So that all royalties accrued to the federal or state government should be able to come to them. That's my point. Once we manage all these points and have all these challenges fixed, then not only then can we beat our chest and say, yes, we have developed this sector in the right way. Environmental impact assessments, environmental rehabilitation and protection plans, are they being followed on ground, or is it just on paper? You apply, you do all those, follow the procedures, and they grant you the document certification or thereabout. Do you follow it the way it is given to you, or do you come to site and devise another means that's not what is given to you on paper? Would you mine in a way that if you are in your community, you still do the same thing? Or do you come to another country and mine in a very, very unregularized and a manner that's not good because it's not your home? The regulators, are they living up to standard? Ensuring that they hold the operators accountable for the environmental management, the safety of the operator, the communities and the operators in the mine. Is it paramount to us as operators? So all of us are in this. We have a slogan that says change begins with me. So in Enugu, we are not trying to look inwards and do the necessary reforms that we want to do inward first. Because we have an adage in Igbo land that says, if you want to look good, you start from the house before going outside. So we're contributing our own quota from within. In Enugu, the royalties of the federal government is not more than 60 million in a year. That's too poor for a state that used to be the largest mining state in Nigeria before. Mining actually started in Enugu in 1909. But we've been left behind because we found oil. And now that we're looking at going back to mining now, we need to be able to look at the challenges we have seen in this sector and find how we can be able to address them. Because only when we have addressed them, that's when we can have the sustainable growth that we all desire in the solid mineral sector. And I've said that each and every one of us here has a role to play in ensuring both the mining operators, the regulators, government officials, they have roles to play to get what we are looking for, to develop this nation, to be able to aid the president, to be able to achieve the 50% growth rate to our GDP that it requires from the solid mineral sector, of which all of us are players in. If we don't do it this way, then I don't know how else we tend to do it. We meet, we have conferences, we have discussions and meetings. At the end of the day, we leave it in the rooms where we have them. We don't take it back home to practicalize them. And that's a very big problem. Once we start walking the talk sincerely, I believe we should be able to see the growth we desire and then have a very sustainable growth in the solid mineral sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much, representative of Enugu State Government, or rather, Enugu State Governor. Thank you very much. I'd like to apologize to other governors, or rather representative of other governors that will be speaking. It's a goodwill message, and we'd like you to please stay around 2-3 minutes so we can deal with other things for this event. Thank you very much. At this point, I'd like to make welcome the representative of the Akwa Ibom State Governor. Please join me as we make welcome Right Honorable Chief Uno Etim Uno, the Commissioner for Environment and Mineral Resources from Akwa Ibom State. That is the land of promise. And just when we're done with the goodwill messages from the states, I'm sure the ministers will be seated, because by then we'll have the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in this room, and then we shall move to other items on the agenda. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. Bring greeting from the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Omo Basi Eno. Well, I'm highly honored to be chosen to be the guest speaker at this event today. Well, permit me to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for the passionate dedication and deep interest in the exploration and exploitation of our solid mineral for economic development, and for appointing Dr. Dele Aleke, a man who has always excelled in many positions of responsibility he has been saddled with over the years to head the Ministry of Solid Minerals, the host of this summit. The summit could not have been held at a more auspicious time in view of the various opportunities embedded in our natural resources and energy sectors. The development of natural resources and energy is one of the fundamentals of unlocking enormous growth potentials of African economy. It is important to note the risks and difficulties associated with the sector, which is mostly due to the huge capital requirement, the long gestation periods, the shortage of the right skill set, unavailability of accurate and reliable data, the social and environmental problems associated with mining. These issues must be considered and addressed if the objective of faster economies is to be attained through solid minerals development. Furthermore, establishing measurable and clear objectives are essential for success. Nigerian solid minerals are indeed a hidden resource ready to be tapped. These resources must, however, be tapped properly and within a solid and clear legal and regulatory framework. The existing framework does not address all the key investor risk considerations, including right to use land and legislative competence on land and matters affecting land. This could be addressed by bringing the federal and state operators together to agree on fiscal benefit, thereby self-limiting authority on agreed lines. Government involvement during a catalyst period would foster investors' confidence. As an emerging industry, the Nigerian mining sector has all of the opportunities and growth potentials of any other. Mining currently only contributes about 0.36% to the Nigerian GDP. It is carried out on a very small scale and currently employs approximately 450,000 people directly and 2,000 people indirectly. This situation is abysmally low compared to other African countries, including Botswana, where the mining sector contributes about 40% to the country's GDP, and South Africa, where it contributes about 18%. There is a need to combine the effort of Roadmap Committee and mitigation strategies with catalyst projects to immediately stimulate the market. Measures such as state JVS, G2B, and G2G are strongly recommended with adequate funding and proper attention. It is estimated that the sector could generate employment opportunity for over 5 million people in the short term and contribute 3 to 6% in the medium term and as much as $27 billion to the Nigerian GDP by 2025. A value chain approach is strongly recommended if conceived properly. It is clear that law and legal resources are essential to optimal performance of the sector. Nigeria will progress from being a mere minerals country to a mining country. Akwa Ibom State is known to be blessed with solid mineral, besides the large deposit of oil and gas, but offshores, both offshores and offshores. The solid minerals are clay, silica, glass, sand, limestone, lithium, titanium, lead, zinc, salt, lignite, uranium, found in traces. State, and we are ready and willing to work collaboratively with the Ministry of Solid Mineral to explore this natural blessing for our collective growth and development in line with our economic and governance blueprint, the ARISE agenda. We are also developing a tourism sector, and currently work are ongoing on the ARISE Park, which, when commissioned later this year, will possibly be the most ambitious and concentrated one-stop recreational facility in the nation. We are ready to partner with other investors to expand this sector. Akwa Ibom State has the best delicacies, delight in the nation. It is peaceful. Our beaches and shoreline can compare with those found in Caribbean. Hotel chain along these beaches front can unlock incredible economic prosperity for our nation and our state. Agriculture is another black goal, and this is a key focal point of the ARISE agenda. We are currently in partnership with the Strongai Farm to develop what will soon be the most integrated farm in Nigeria with great tourism potentials. We are ready to partner with investors to further expand this sector. The state is the only subnational that owns what has been nationally acknowledged as the best airline in the nation, the Ibom Air. I just came back from Europe, where we signed the paperwork for the delivery of the second and the 10th Airbus A220-300 series for our flagship airline, the Ibom Air. Our maintenance, repairs, and overhaul MRO facility at the Victor Orta International Airport is ready, and we are open for discussion with foreign investors in this sector. The MRO is the only such facility in the West and Central region of Africa, respectively. Our Ibom Deep Seaport is another audacious project. We are ready to engage investors and key industry stakeholders in the oil and gas sector, of which we are the nation's largest producers. In conclusion, the national natural resources, if fully harnessed by the respective governments, putting all necessary checks in place, will create positive impact, which will lead to enormous benefit, to mention but a few. Increase the sector contribution to the nation's GDP from the current 0.46 to at least 10% by 2029. Creation of about 3 million direct and indirect jobs by 2029. Achieving enhanced human capacity to supply over 50% of the skilled manpower required for all segments of the sector. Construction of good road network to boost economic activities. Increase in the state internal generated revenue and consequent increase in the standard of living of the people. The exploration and exploitation of natural resources will help to discongest the overcrowded public service and a corresponding geographical spread of wealth. Once again, I welcome you all to this summit and wish you a productive deliberation. Thank you for listening, and God bless all of us.
Thank you very much. The representative of the Akwa Ibom State Governor there, Chief Uno. Another round of applause for him. That is the land of promise, Akwa Ibom State. It's now time to move, and this time we are going to a place where famine is their pride, and that is Zamfara State. Please join me as I make welcome the representative of the Governor of Zamfara State. He's been represented by Hajia Mariam Yaro, the MD, Zamfara State Investment and Property Development. A round of applause for her as she comes forward for her goodwill message. Please, I'd like the representative of the governors to stay around 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, as earlier mentioned, just so we can handle all the states that are present. A round of applause for her. That's the representative of Zamfara State Governor coming forward for a goodwill message. We'd like the representative of the Governor of Abia State to get ready. You're next. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Distinguished ministers, guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor to address you all today at the All Natural Resource and Energy Investment Summit. We are gathered here today at a pivotal moment for our continent as we stand on the brink of a new era of sustainable growth and development. Africa is blessed with an abundance of natural resources and wealth of renewable energy potentials, from the vast mineral deposits that lie beneath our soil to the powerful rivers that flow through our lands. The opportunity for growth and development are immense. Our mission at this summit is to harness these resources responsibly and sustainably, ensuring that they benefit all Africans. The theme of this summit, Unlocking Africans' Potential Sustainable Investment in Natural Resource and Energy, resonates deeply with our collective aspirations. It underscores the importance of collaboration, innovation, and strategic investment in driving economic growth and improving the quality of lives for all of us. As we embark on this journey together, we must recognize the critical role of sustainable practices in natural resource management and energy production. We are tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that our development efforts do not compromise the environment or the well-being of future generations. It is our duty to strike a balance between economic progress and ecological preservation. Over the next few days, we will engage in meaningful discussions, share insights, and explore innovative solutions to the challenges we face. This summit provides a unique platform for government officials, industry leaders, investors, and experts to come together, exchange ideas, and forge partnerships that will drive Africans' growth. Let us work together to create a roadmap for sustainable development that will propel Africa to new heights of prosperity. In closing, I would like to express my gratitude to all the organizers, sponsors, and participants for their dedication and support in making this summit a reality. Thank you, and I wish you all a successful and productive summit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, representative of the Zamfara State Governor. Up next, representative of the Governor of Abia State. We'd like you to please step forward. And I've just been informed that we have the representative of the Governor of Taraba State present with us. They are our silver sponsors, and they will be given a goodwill message right after Abia State. Please, a round of applause for God's own state.
Good morning and welcome to everyone. I'm Professor Bona Joel, representing the Executive Governor of Abia State. We are glad that we are part of this program. It's been said in several fora that Africa can only be developed by Africans. And by implication, no one can develop your own states. So when my governor came to Abia State, found out that we have a lot of opportunities and problems. I realized that the only way we can make progress is through collaboration. It's all through collaboration. So looking at the oil and gas sector, the energy sector, we are one of the oil and gas producing states, but there were a lot of challenges. Over 100 wells are capped, drilled and nothing is happening. So we went into collaboration with a body called PETA, Petroleum Training Association of Nigeria, to see how we can harness those capped wells. And we have a zone in Abia State where we now develop Abia State Industrial Innovation Park. We acquired over 1,933 hectares of land. We believe with that we'll be able to have an industrial park where you have modular refineries, petrochemicals, fertilizer plants, and luckily it's close to a railway where we link it up to the One seaport, and it's a great and huge opportunity. We think that that will also help us to enhance our oil and gas production profile. In the solid mineral sector, I'm glad that we have this kind of opportunity. We have over 17 minerals, and nothing has been done before now. So we have gone into collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Mineral Resources to be able to gather data. Like it's been said, if you don't have enough data, bankable data, you will not be able to attract investors. So we are doing extensive survey to be able to make sure that we have a bankable data. What is more, we realize that the greatest power for change is knowledge. What the governor has done is to be able to get the right people to make sure they come in and help the state. He went all over the world to hire people, technocrats, who are really helping to drive what we are doing in Abia State. We also realize that if you don't use what you have, others will take advantage of it. And that's why we've been suffering as Africans. We have not been using what we have. Our young ones, after training them, we don't use them. So they take them, our resources. So we want to go into real value addition. Because if you don't break these things down into where you have value, you're only dealing with a crude state, then you'll be losing. So we do believe that with a workshop like this, with people knowledgeable, as we go back, we'll be able to enhance whatever we are doing. I want to sincerely thank everyone and wish that after this workshop, we go home and take advantage of the knowledge we have gotten to develop our states. Once again, God bless you.
Thank you very much, Abia State. And next is Taraba State, the representative of the governor of Taraba State. Just so you know, the governor of Taraba State, His Excellency Dr. Agbo Kefas, has been very supportive of this summit, and he is our silver sponsor. So please, I'd like you to make them welcome with a thunderous round of applause.
Sorry about that. Good morning, honorable ministers from the various countries. I bring to you greetings from Dr. Abu Kefas, the governor of Taraba State. Dr. Abu Kefas will be present tomorrow to deliver a keynote address, as has been announced earlier. He asked me to represent him for today's section and identify with the organizers and deliver a great thumb up for organizing this event. Taraba State is known as the nature's gift to the nation. So talking about natural resources, Taraba State is a land of endless possibilities. But not only that, Taraba State is indeed virgin. That is why it is referred to as the untapped gold mine of the nation. Governor have graciously opened up the state for investors by putting in place several mechanisms to be able to attract the much desired investment to tap into the virgin Taraba State. The fact that Taraba State is virgin in terms of natural resources, we are very concerned that we do not allow it to be raped. That is why we need to put in a clearly defined strategy to allow for engagement with various investors from across the world. We are therefore putting in place structures to make it easy for investment in Taraba State. I was just telling my colleague from Enugu State that I was in the section yesterday and we didn't need to say anything because he actually took out every word out of my mouth. And I didn't need to say anything at that point because the challenges are quite similar. challenges of illegal mining, challenges of environmental degradation, and all of that. We actually the first state at the onset of this present administration to suspend mining activity in the state. And as we speak, the suspension order is still in force. While that is going on, we are actually embarking on taking an audit, total audit of what the situation is like, with a view to creating clearly defined procedure and provide a rule of engagement with investors to provide the desired enabling environment for mining to thrive in Taraba State to the benefit of all. Like I said, the governor will be present tomorrow to deliver a keynote address, and my only duty here is to present a goodwill message, and that I hope with the few words I have said, I have done so, and we look forward to a successful ending of this program with all the deliverables be effectively delivered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Taraba State. Please join me as we make welcome the representative of the governor of Ebonyi State. A round of applause for Chidi Onya as he comes forward. Ebonyi State, are you ready for your goodwill message? Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward. Please, we'd like the representatives of the governor of Nasarawa State and Kwara State to get ready. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning all. I bring you greetings from the good people of Ebonyi State. Permit me to read the speech of my boss, the executive governor of Ebonyi State. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and privilege that I stand before you today as the representative of His Excellency, Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnamwifuru, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, who was invited to address this esteemed gathering as a guest speaker at the 3rd edition of the African Natural Resources and Energy Investment Summit, AFNIS. Unfortunately, due to pressing state matters, His Excellency sent his sincere apologies for not being able to join you in person. Nonetheless, he extends his heartfelt gratitude for the opportunity to share insights and perspectives on the crucial theme of natural resources for economic development. This summit convened at a pivotal moment when the global community is increasingly recognizing the indispensable role of natural resources in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and improving livelihoods. In Ebonyi State, under the visionary leadership of our dear governor, we are steadfast in our commitment to harnessing abundant natural resources, particularly our solid minerals, as catalysts for sustainable development. Ebonyi State is endowed with abundant bankable solid mineral resources, which include lead, zinc, iron ore, salt, limestone, granite, etc., that hold immense potential to propel our state and indeed our nation towards prosperity. Under this present administration, we have embarked on a comprehensive agenda to optimize the extraction and utilization of these resources in a manner that is both economically viable and environmentally sustainable. Furthermore, recognizing the critical role of infrastructure in unlocking the full potential of our mineral wealth, Ebonyi State has made significant investment in infrastructure development. Our efforts to enhance road network and logistical capabilities are geared towards reducing operational costs for miners and improving the efficiency of resource extraction and transportation. His Excellency, Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnamwifuru's administration has prioritized the responsible and sustainable exploitation of Ebonyi State mineral wealth. We have implemented stringent regulatory framework aimed at ensuring that mining activities are conducted in accordance with best practices that uphold environmental integrity and safeguard the welfare of our communities. This approach not only attracts investors, but also ensure that the benefits of resource extractions are equitably distributed among our people. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in recognizing the interplay between energy security and economic progress, Ebonyi State is actively exploring renewable energy solutions to complement our mineral development strategies. By diversifying our energy mix and promoting clean energy technologies, we aim to enhance industrial productivity while mitigating the environmental impact of traditional energy sources. The theme of this summit underscores a shared imperative across Africa to leverage our natural endowments effectively in pursuit of inclusive and sustainable economic growth. His Excellency believes that collaboration and knowledge sharing among stakeholders are paramount to achieving this goal. We are committed to fostering partnership with both domestic and international investors who share our vision of transforming Ebonyi State into a hub of economic prosperity driven by responsible natural resources management. In conclusion, I commend the organizers of AFNIS for providing a platform for constructive dialogue and collaboration on issues critical to the future of Africa's natural resources and energy sector. I am confident that the discussions held here will yield actionable insights and initiatives that will accelerate our collective journey towards harnessing Africa's potential for the benefit of all. On behalf of His Excellency and the people of Ebonyi State, I extend our sincere appreciation for your unwavering commitment to advancing the agenda of sustainable development through responsible natural resource management. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ebonyi State. Up next is the representative of the Kwara State Governor. Please join me as we make welcome Dr. Hafiz Abolore Alabi, Honorable Commissioner for Solid Minerals Development, Kwara State. He's representing the Governor of Kwara State. A round of applause for him as he comes forward.
Good morning, everyone. I'm standing before you this morning, Hafiz Abolore Alabi, representing the Governor of Kwara State, Malam Abrahman Abrazak, who also doubled as the chairman of the Nigerian Grassroots Forum. Well, in Kwara State, what we are doing at the moment is to see that we reposition the sector as much as possible. I assumed that office some 2 months ago, and currently I can tell the whole world that the state is blessed with abundant natural resources that are yet to be tapped, but not without us having some little hiccups here and there, particularly in how to ensuring that we have the kind of repositioning drive to ensure that this is the state also have the benefits of what our other colleagues are doing, particularly in Nasarawa State, Enugu State, and some other few states that have done so much well in this sector. So at the moment, we want to enjoy who will be the investors here in Nigeria, locally as well as outside, to see a new frontier in that sector as far as Kwara State is concerned. We are blessed with a number of natural resources, particularly lithium, with high-grade potential. So by and large, as a state, again, we want to see how we can also contribute our quota to the development of the GDP, as far as that sector is concerned. Well, the issue or the case of illegal mining is another area that we wanted the Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals to also come and see how they can also assist us in that regard. Not so much well has been done in terms of harnessing the investors into that state, but I can assure you they have a number of few pockets of investors that are on ground at the moment who are also ready to partner and collaborate with us as a state government to see how best we can also go as far as this sector is concerned. Then in terms of restructuring the entire sector as a nation, I think we have a whole lot to do, and part of what we are doing today is also to contribute and see how best the nation, Nigeria, can also do so much well, competing favorably with other, nations of the world that have, so much advanced as far as solid minerals is concerned. So it is on that note, I want to wish our guest speakers, the organizers, my colleagues from other states, and of course, by and large, other, contributors who have come from far and near to enjoy this session as much as possible and ensure that we have, a lot of investment opportunities open for this sector as far as Nigeria is concerned. Thank you so much, everyone, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Kwara State. Now that we're done with states in Nigeria that are present for this summit, being the first day, of course, we expect more state governments, either their governors and representatives present. And just to let you know, the home of solid minerals, the deputy governor is here with us. He would give his goodwill message much later, and that is when he accompanies the vice president into this room. All right, and then, as I mentioned, tomorrow we'll have more states present, and they will also be here to give their goodwill messages. Please, a round of applause for the states that are here present. We have visiting ministers in this room, as earlier introduced, and would like some of them to give us goodwill messages. So for the visiting ministers that are present and would like to give goodwill messages from their countries, I would appreciate that. But for now, we just have ambassadors that are here present or their representatives to come give a quick goodwill message, just a minute each. And this is to enable us have the vice president in our midst so we can begin with all that you can see on the agenda. Thank you very much. So I'd like us to begin with the ambassador from the state of Qatar, His Excellency, Dr. Ali bin Ghanem Al Hajri. He's here with us. A round of applause for him as he comes forward for his goodwill message. All right, looks like he's out of the room. If we have the High Commissioner, Canada in Nigeria, His Excellency James Christoph with us, would like him to please step forward for his goodwill message. All right, looks like most of these dignitaries are out trying to get the Vice President into the room, and that would happen in just a minute. Now, let's make welcome His Excellency Moses Michael Ngado, the Secretary General, Africa Minerals Strategy Group, just for a goodwill message. Of course, he'll be briefing us properly in the course of this event. Please, a round of applause for him as he steps forward.
Good morning, Nigeria. Everybody seems not to be happy today morning. Good morning, Nigeria. Excellencies, distinguished guests, allow me also stand on the matter of the protocol that has already been established and welcome you all, I guess all of us, to this wonderful third African Natural Resources and Investment Summit. As a continent, Africa is known to be greatly blessed with a lot of natural resources. This often has not translated to getting the best benefit out of it. Forums like this give us an opportunity to actually come together, work together, and take advantage of the great blessings that we have. However, We have also learned over time that we usually come together and talk, agree, enjoy the food, and go back home. It is our hope that this is going to be different, that we shall come up with solutions and start to implement them, that we shall have partnerships that we can build from here that are going to support us to actually realize our aspirations. And natural resources can indeed spur economic development. However, we need leadership. And leadership is not only from the governments. Leadership is from the private sector. Leadership is from the civil society. Leadership is from the academia. And leadership is from our families. We need to lead a new Africa, a new dispensation. Not the Africa we want, but the Africa we need. Wants are a luxury, needs are a necessity. We look forward to the engagements during this summit and to meeting all of you and sharing how together we can achieve a prosperous Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Moses Ngadu, Secretary General of the Africa Minerals Strategy Group. Thank you. May we please rise as we make welcome the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please take your seats. The Vice President will join us shortly. I sincerely apologize. I'm sure you understand the busy schedule of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And taking out some minutes to be with us, of course, is a big deal. We appreciate him for that. And of course, he needs to quickly attend to certain issues before he steps into this room. I'd like to apologize once again. But I am absolutely sure that in a few seconds, he'll be with us. In the interim, could we have just a brief musical interlude before he steps in, because he officially signals the beginning of this event. And just so you know, while we await the arrival of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. As already mentioned, we have the host with us. That's the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Oladele Aleke, with us. And of course, we also have the Minister of State Steel Development, Honorable Uba Megari Amadu, with us in this room. They would all speak with us in the course of this event. May we please rise as we make welcome the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please. Please, a round of applause for him as he takes his seat. That is His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima. May we now take the national anthem. A round of applause as we take our seats. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, we warmly welcome you to AFNIS 2024. We are delighted to have you in our midst, and just so you know, the theme of this year's event is Natural Resources for Economic Development, and it is a high-level summit to discuss the way forward, not just for Nigeria, but for Africa. Please, a round of applause once again. Without wasting any more time, I would like us to make welcome for the welcome address for AFNIS 2024, and that will be done by the chief host. Please put your hands together for Dr. Oladele Alake, the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development, as he steps forward. Please keep clapping until he comes forward. He's our chief host.
Your Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, who is here ably represented by no less a personality than the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, himself, Senator, former governor, former senator, former banker, former auditor, former editor, former orator, and a man who is not given to flippancy, who himself has chalked up an enviable track record in public service. He has garnered sufficient and remarkable experience in both the private and public sectors, straddling various endeavors, and then culminating in the #2 position, largest black African country in the world. Senator Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is not a stranger to any one of us here today. And just before I go on to the other distinguished members here present, I want to let you in on a very, very anecdotal point which culminated in the Vice President gracing this occasion. When I had a discussion with Mr. President and reviewed this program with him and emphasized the fact that he had to come and declare this open, because this is also an event for us in Nigeria as not just a member of the Africa Mineral Strategy Group, comprising of ministers of minerals in African countries. Nigeria also happens to be the chair of that body, the African Mineral Strategy Group. And so it was, in my mind, very important and significant for him to be here. And when we reviewed his program, we discovered that it was tightly packed, so jam-packed, that we actually thought of him shuttling from one event to the other just to be present for the optics. At the end of the day, something had to give. And he said, oh, let's ask your friend to come and declare it open. And I was wondering, so my mind first went to my colleague minister of steel. He said, no, your friend, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I said, you know, in the usual parlance, I said, Oga, because when we are having informal conversations, we don't necessarily refer to him as Mr. President. We say Oga. Oga is an euphemism for president and the overall boss of everything. So it's Oga. So I said, Oga, the VP is my friend, no doubt. He said, you think I don't know? I know everything. So we both laughed. And I accepted it. I felt and I still feel proud to be associated with the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because he's an achiever. And I strive to copy achievers so that I can be labeled an achiever myself. Your Excellency, you are welcome, sir. The Minister of Environment, who is here, the Minister of State for Steel Development, my colleague ministers in the cabinet, also here present, I welcome you. And very significantly, ladies and gentlemen and excellencies, I have the honor and rare privilege of hosting our special guests from other African countries, the ministers of minerals and mines and energy and geology from other African countries. Like I said earlier on, there is a group that has been formed, and that group is the African Mineral Strategy Group. And this group was formed because of the consciousness of Africa and Africans to take up the gauntlet and take their destinies in their own hands with regards to the efficient and proficient exploitation and judicious expenditure of resources and revenue accruable from our natural resources, especially the solid minerals. So, given this need, the African ministers of minerals came together to form this very critical body, the African Mineral Strategy Group, to pilot the affairs of African natural resources with regards to solid minerals, and to chart the course and come up with strategies that would ensure and enable Africans to benefit maximally from the God-given solid mineral resources embedded on the earth of Africa. And so here today we have the ministers of minerals from sister African countries, from Malawi, from Liberia, from Sierra Leone, from Chad, from South Sudan, and other representatives from other African countries here present to grace this occasion. And Your Excellency, the Vice President, I'm proud to also announce to you that Nigeria is a current chairman of this very important African group. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, captains of industry, leaders of our society in all strata, gentlemen of the press, it is with profound honor and gratitude that I address you today at this Africa Natural Resources and Energy Investment Summit, which we call AFNIS. That's the acronym, AFNIS 2024 edition. And this summit represents a significant milestone in our collective journey towards harnessing Africa's vast natural resources for sustainable economic development. AFNIS 2024 is not just a gathering. It is a convergence of visionaries, of policymakers, of industry leaders, and stakeholders, all united by a shared commitment to unlocking the full potential of our continent's natural wealth. This platform is very pivotal, not only for the discourse it fosters, but for the actionable insights and strategic partnerships it will undoubtedly yield. We are therefore here to explore how Africa's abundant resources can be leveraged to drive economic growth, social equity, and environmental sustainability. Under the renewed hope agenda championed by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, we are committed to transforming Nigeria's solid mineral sector into a cornerstone of our nation's economic diversification strategy. Our approach is multifaceted, focusing on policy reforms, sustainable practices, infrastructure development, and human capital enhancement. We are currently implementing comprehensive reforms that will create a conducive environment for investment in solid mineral sector. These reforms aim to enhance transparency, regulatory clarity, and investor confidence, fostering a competitive and thriving industry. This aligns with Mr. President's vision of an open and transparent government that works for the people of Nigeria. Our commitment, thus, to sustainable and infrastructural development is unwavering. We are adopting best practices that minimize environmental impact and promote social responsibility. Our goal is to ensure that mining activities contribute positively to the economy while safeguarding the environment and enhancing the well-being of local communities, reflecting the ethos of the renewed hope agenda. Recognizing the critical role of infrastructure in enabling mining activities, we are going to encourage investments in key projects, including transportation, power supply, and technological advancements. These investments will facilitate efficient extraction, processing, and transportation of minerals, thereby boosting productivity and competitiveness. As building a skilled workforce is so essential for the success of the solid minerals industry, we will continue to enhance the capacity of our workforce through training and education, ensuring that our people can participate meaningfully in the industry and drive its growth. This is in line, again, with President Tinubu's commitment to creating opportunities for all. Esteemed participants, excellencies, and ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I highlight Nigeria's leadership role in the newly established Africa Mineral Strategy Group. As the first chairman of this initiative, I am dedicated to setting new standards in Africa's mining industry and ensuring that Africa's resources are equitably shared and Africa has its own commensurate share in supplying the world with critical minerals. This initiative will drive economic growth in Africa, promote sustainable practices, and foster international collaboration in Africa's mining sector. We are therefore very deeply grateful to all the countries that have honored us with their presence at AFNIS 2024. Your participation underscores the collective commitment of our global community to the sustainable development of Africa's natural resources. Your insights, expertise, and collaborative spirit are invaluable to the success of this summit. Therefore, together, we can forge a path towards a more prosperous and sustainable future for Africa. AFNIS 2024 provides a unique opportunity to forge partnerships and attract investments that will drive the development of Africa's natural resources. We are therefore committed to creating a business-friendly environment that encourages foreign direct investment and fosters mutually beneficial collaborations. By leveraging global expertise, technology, and capital, we can transform our natural resources into a catalyst for sustainable development all over Africa. Innovation is a key driver of growth in the natural resources development. In the natural resources ecosystem, therefore, we'll continue to embrace technological advancements that enhance efficiency, reduces costs, and promotes sustainable practices. The imperative of extending the benefits of natural resource development to local communities is very paramount to us. We are steadfast in our commitment to ensuring that mining activities serve as catalysts for local community economic growth and enhance the quality of life of all our citizens across the continent. Through robust corporate social responsibility initiatives and proactive community engagement, our goal is to empower communities and engender inclusive development. This commitment is reinforced by the recent revision of Nigeria's Community Development Agreement, CDA, which I initiated shortly after assuming office. This updated framework ensures that local communities are integral parts and partners in mining ventures, safeguarding their interests and ensuring direct participation in benefits from resource extraction processes. The CDA exemplifies our unwavering dedication to sustainable development, transparency, and the enduring prosperity for all communities. In closing, I would like to reiterate the importance of collaboration and shared commitment in achieving these goals set forth at this summit. The journey ahead is filled with opportunities and challenges, but with unity, determination, and innovation, we can transform Africa's natural resources into a catalyst for sustainable development and sustainable inclusive growth. Let us therefore seize this moment to build a future where Africa's natural resources are not only a source of wealth, but also a foundation for prosperity and resilience. Together, we can create a better and brighter future for Africa and ensure that the benefits of resource development are shared by all Africans. I thank you, Your Excellencies. I thank you, my honorable colleagues. I thank you, captains of industry, participants, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for listening. May God bless Nigeria and may God bless Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Oladele Henry Alake, the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development. Thank you so much for your speech, and of course you're doing so much in changing the face of solid minerals development in our country and the narrative in general. Another round of applause for the chief host, please. It's now time to make welcome someone in this room who has been described as a charismatic person, very sound, brilliant, masses-oriented, a qualified agricultural economist. He's a refined intellectual, a relentless achiever, an eloquent speaker, and for so many people, he's described as the Barack Obama of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause as we make welcome His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, as he gives us his presidential address.
Kindly sit down, please. This lady can make one have an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Your Excellency, the Governor of Nasarawa State, ably represented by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Emmanuel Akbadu Akabe, distinguished Senator Mohammed Ogoshi Onawo, Senator representing Nasarawa South, our chief host, an erudite scholar in his own right, an activist of note, a frontline journalist, the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals, my elder brother, my friend, Dr. Oladele Henry Alake. The Honorable Minister of State Environment, Ishaq Kulle Salako, the Honorable Minister of State Steel Development, Honorable Uba Megali Amadou, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Solid Minerals, Dr. Mary Okwe, His Excellency Julius Matai, Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Republic of Sierra Leone, Your Excellency Martin Abucha, Minister of Mining, Republic of South Sudan, Your Excellency Monica Changanamuno, Member of Parliament, Minister of Mining, Republic of Malawi, Your Excellency Wilmot Paye, Minister of Mines and Energy, Republic of Liberia, Your Excellency Umar Jime Musa, Deputy Minister of Petroleum Mines and Geology, Republic of Chad, representatives of our governors present here, heads of federal government agencies and parastatals, leaders and members of the creative industries, members of the diplomatic corps, our distinguished participants, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the government and people of Nigeria, I welcome all participants, especially the foreign guests to this summit. As we gather amidst the gleaming hall of the State House Conference Center in Abuja, we embark on this transformative journey with a passionate spirit of anticipation and unity. Our presence here today marks not just a convergence of minds, but a testament to our shared commitment to harnessing the boundless potential of Africa's mining and energy industries. This year's theme, Natural Resources for Economic Development, advocates for leveraging Africa's natural wealth to foster inclusive economic growth. It emphasizes that a shift towards sustainable energy sources does not compromise economic growth, social stability, or job creation. Africa holds vast potential in the sphere of local value addition. It is not merely about extracting minerals, but about processing and refining them, thereby adding significant value to our God-endowed natural resources. This approach can bolster our economies and offer livelihoods to our burgeoning population. The deliberations during these days will culminate in findings that can shape policies and regulations that can attract investment, ignite entrepreneurship, and channel the creativity of local businesses. We intend to elevate Nigeria's critical mineral resources wealth from potential to reality, creating a prosperous, resilient, and environmentally conscious future. As we gather here today, we are fully aware of Africa's challenges in the realm of power. Millions of our fellow citizens live without access to electricity, and this energy divide perpetuates poverty and inequality and limits our economic potentials. But within these challenges lies the opportunity for transformation. The present administration is unwavering in its commitment to harnessing the power of natural resources to provide clean, accessible, and reliable energy for Nigerians. Earlier in the year, we removed a segment of the power subsidies that will allow increased investments in power infrastructure. We recognize that achieving this vision requires sacrifice and close collaboration between the government and the private sector. Nigeria is indeed blessed with abundant mineral resources, and it is our duty to maximize their potential in a sustainable and inclusive manner. We understand that mining is not solely about extraction, but about creating a value chain supporting our industrialization goals. This entails mining, processing, refining, and harnessing these resources to fuel our growth. This government is fully committed to creating an enabling business environment to attract investment that encourages value addition on soil minerals before they are exported. We recognize the losses incurred from exporting crude mineral commodities and understand that it is a time to change this narrative. By doing so, we aim to ensure that our teeming youth are actively engaged in economic activities, acquiring skills, and contributing to the nation's foreign exchange earnings. Therefore, the ministry will not only issue mining licenses if they are tied to local value addition. This administration wants to make Nigeria a leader in critical metals, and I welcome the establishment of the African Minerals Strategy Group, with our minister as the first chairman of this initiative. We aim to set new standards in the mining industry and ensure that Africa gets an equitable slice of supplying the world with critical metals. And in our transition to cleaner and more sustainable energy systems, we also recognize the pivotal role that natural gas plays. Natural gas is a transition fuel that will fundamentally restructure our nation's economy. To meet our electrification targets, we must recognize the importance of renewable energy in our energy mix. Renewable energy, particularly solar energy, remains the most cost-effective solution for connecting our rural communities to electricity. Over the past decade, Nigeria has attracted over $2 billion in investment in the renewable energy sector, making it a fast-growing sector in the economy. Our commitment is to ensure this trajectory and attract more private sector involvement in the renewable energy space, including manufacturing locally produced solar panels and batteries. By encouraging local equipment production, we can reduce the cost of implementation, thereby lowering the threshold of electrification. Our discussion on the energy transition must also include the significance of the petroleum industry as a cornerstone of our economy. While we strive to embrace renewable and cleaner energy sources, we acknowledge that oil and gas continue to play a vital role in our energy and economic landscape. These resources are critical not only for domestic energy needs, but also for driving economic development and facilitating investment. Our goal is to attract more investment in the oil and gas industry and grow our oil production to 2.1 million barrels a day by December 2024. Furthermore, we'll invest in our mainstream and downstream infrastructure, tackle theft, and hold developers accountable for the highest environmental standards. This administration's commitment is to manage these resources responsibly, minimizing their ecological footprints and maximizing their benefits for our nation. Revenues generated will also be used for our national energy transition plan. And for Africa to fully realize its full potential and meet global climate targets, we must put collaboration at the forefront of our collective national transition plans. It is indeed inspiring to see so many international dignitaries who have answered our call to gather here today in Abuja to engage in important discussions. This administration, I want to assure you, will continue to work with the international community and our African neighbors to initiate and develop cross-border infrastructure systems that will allow goods and services to move easily across Africa and fully harness the potential of the African Free Trade Continental Agreement. Transporting natural gas from Nigeria to North Africa should be easier than transporting it to the Far East. Moreover, we acknowledge that safeguarding the environment and local communities is at the core of all our decisions on harnessing the abundant natural resources of our dear continent. We are the custodians of the offices we now hold and the land that we inherit. We must strive not to repeat the mistakes of the past, where environmental considerations were superseded by economic gains. This summit represents a critical step towards Africa's brighter, more sustainable future. Let our discussions over the next 2 days translate into meaningful actions that will drive economic growth, promote sustainability, and create opportunities for our citizens. Together, we can shape a continent that supplies the critical mineral resources required for the transition and becomes a leader in advocating for a fair and just energy transition. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it's my singular honor and privilege to declare this summit open. May God bless us all.
The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON. Thank you so much. A round of applause for him once again. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development would lead other ministers with the Vice President out of the room for exhibition tour and photograph, which will take just about 5-10 minutes. Thank you so much. May we please be seated? If you look at your agenda, you would realize that ministers that are present here would be delivering keynote addresses. And so, because they have to be with the Vice President for the exhibition tour and official AFNIS picture, we'll take a 5-minute break just for that to happen, after which we'll reconvene in this room to continue the summit. Thank you very much. It would be good if you remain seated because 5 minutes will be done shortly. And just so that you can we can continue in good time, it will be important that you remain seated. Only those that have to be with the Vice President and the ministers are expected to be out of this room. Thank you. We'll have a brief musical interlude from our sound team while that is going on, the exhibition. And then, like I said, 5 minutes time would continue.